Patrick God.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to this 49 days abundance journey. There are hundreds of us joining from 5 continents, 30 plus countries. And when I look at the list, I notice many new faces and many familiar faces. I'm filled with gratitude for this abundance journey. Through your presence, I'm inspired on my own abundance journey. And I'm setting the prayer that through my presence, may you all also find inspiration for your abundance journey. My gratitude also goes to Michael, my dear, dear brother. Michael, you've actually done so much to bring this journey together. I'm filled with gratitude in my heart. And of course, Mark, always in the background, but always with infinite love. And many other people who have supported us. Again, welcome back. Welcome to this 49 days abundance journey. You know, like with all my events everywhere, whether it's a small group or the large group, I always start with a little recentering. So that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to invite you all to join me for a minute of recentering. So wherever you are, the invitation is, if you have any electronic devices, anything that you want to put on silence, device that you don't need at this moment, please do so. Put it on silence. And find yourself a comfortable position. A position where you can be seated with your spine straight, your back free from your backrest, and with your eyes gently closed. Allow your body to become present. Allow your awareness to become present. Listen to the sounds around you. Everything is sound. Nothing is noise. Observe. Always remain aware of all the sounds around. And keeping those sounds always in your awareness, gently bring your attention to your breath. Feel your breath.
Not going anywhere.
Observe your breath as it flows in and flows out. Remain connected with your breath at all times. As you gently move your attention to your heart region and feel your heartbeats. Connect deeply with your heartbeats. Become
I'm breathing
one
out.
with your heartbeat. Your heartbeats are the beats of this group, as this group's heartbeats are yours. Your heartbeats are the beats of the universe, as the universe's heartbeats are yours. You are the abundance of the universe. And as you remain connected with your heartbeats, let emerge one intention that you would like to set for these 49 days abundance journey. what is that one intention that you would like to see realize, manifest in these 49 days? What we manifest in life is just an echo of our intentions, conscious or unconscious. So set a conscious intention to manifest some form of abundance. One intention is good. And hold that intention in your awareness. Inhale slowly and deeply. Exhale. And one more time. And this time, as you exhale, gently return back to this time and space. Thank you. Thank you all. I invite you to just take a moment and write down that intention. Let's consecrate our intentions by writing that down. Michael, do I see a comment there that my audio might not be loud enough?
If you can increase your volume, that would be awesome.
All right, you're technically stretching me. You're taking me to a realm that I'm not very comfortable with. But let me see. All right, is this better?
That is better. Thank you.
Lovely. Beautiful. Take a moment to write down that intention that you set. This is for your eyes only. Well, actually, it's not just for your eyes. The universe is also seeing it. So, you don't have to show it to anybody else. So, feel welcome to be daring with your intention. And with that, what I'd like to do is to take a moment to create for us a beautiful space, a great space, a space where we can actually become even more one with the universe, a space where we feel safe, where we feel completely authentic to express ourselves. All right? Why is that kind of a great, safe, sacred space important? You know, I remember when I was a kid and I was learning with my masters, there was this one lady who asked my teacher, you know, how do I attract abundance into my life? And he took a pause, looked, into the horizon, and he replied, become one with the universe. That's it. Just become one with the universe. The universe is a field of infinite abundance. And by becoming one with that universe, we become the channel of infinite abundance. And he said something else that was very, very profound for me. Don't be held back in your pursuit of abundance, for abundance is not just a longing, it is a responsibility, because it is through us that the universe perpetuates abundance for humanity and the planet. Isn't that fascinating? That abundance is a responsibility, not just a desire or a longing or a yearning. There's nothing egoic about it, as long as we open up, because the sheer act of becoming one with the universe also makes us altruistic, Ubuntu. So, for us, on this journey of 49 days to really become more and more one with the universe, with that source of infinite abundance, here are a couple of standards. Very, very important. And I have an invitation for all of you in the meantime. Go wild, throw in the chat box some of the sacred standards that you feel is important for you, all right? Good, go crazy. And while you do, I'll share a couple of standards that I'm claiming during these 49 days. One, non-judgment. Whatever manifests in this space, I promise, I'm simply going to receive it and celebrate it, not criticize it or evaluate it, or ridicule it. No. Simply just welcome it. That would be the practice of non-judgment, accepting the perfection of your sharing, your process. The second one is one of confidentiality. Whatever intimate that you would share privately with me will stay with me. If there is something that you feel is confidential about you, that you do not want others to feel exposed to,
Michael Krause, openness.
I'll honor that.
Did you put that in there? Michael.
For the rest, you got to know that hundreds of people are watching us on this journey, are participating with us from 4 or 5 continents. But what is personal and private will remain confidential. And the last one, I want to show up here with the spirit of giving.
Must have, because I come in as you.
That I do know that I'm giving not with an attachment for a reward, but for the pure joy of giving.
He probably shared
like
that.
A mother does with a little child. Like we do with those we love in our life. All right? like that level of gift. And we'll come into this much more deeply, much later. But for now, these are some of the standards that I want to pledge for these 49 days. In the meantime, I'm reading a number of great standards that you shared in this space. Let me see. Auntie says golden rule. I don't know what the golden rule is. So Auntie, if you want to elaborate on that one in the chat box, you're welcome. Jerika, a wonderful lady that I know, I've been blessed to practice with, says respect. Catalina, safety. Raven, gratitude. I love that. Jerika again, love. Naveed, dear brother from UK, to never fear authenticity. I love that. Gary, willingness and true curiosity. Wow. Thomas, my dear brother from Germany, to be true to my soul's path. Love it. Cheryl, shared vulnerability. Wow. Lisa, knowing this is a safe space to be myself. Wow. Jerika again, awe and wonder and curiosity. Marnix, hello brother from the Netherlands. Openness. Karthik from India, hello. Integrity. Michael, my eternal fellow traveler of life. Openness. Frederic, hello. Authenticity. Abhishek, UK, alive and present. Frederic again, effort. And Lisa, connection with everyone here and being supportive to others' intentions. Wow. Enrico, ciao, from Italia, flow with life. And Auntie says, treat others as you would wish yourself to be treated. Wow. Silvana, hello sister from Italy. Lightness and joy. Marcus, I don't know where you are. Ibiza, support in silence. Mitzi, honesty with myself. Wow. Beautiful. Each one of them touch very, very, very deeply my heart. And let's collectively uphold these standards and make them turn into magic into each of our lives. All right. Thank you. The more and more we breathe in these standards during these 49 days, the more we become it. And the more we become them, the more we become one with the universe. The more we become one with the universe, the more we become channels of infinite abundance, whatever that abundance is. In a few minutes, we'll jump into a little exercise around articulating what is the abundance that we are ready to claim into our lives. But before that, let's take a minute on the table of content. So, Michael, if you want to pull up, not that it's really, really relevant, because we will honor more the flow of this space than the table of content. What needs to emerge in this space will be supreme for us, and the table of contents will be subordinated. Yet, we will do some exercise to understand in which of the 10 areas of life we are ready to welcome abundance today. It's a fun exercise. We'll have a little bit of a breakout for that. And then we'll come back and we'll do a quick deep dive into the first law of abundance. And today, being the first session, please bear with us. It'll be a little intense and I might speak a little too much. I'm sure you will forgive me for that. From next week onwards, and the reason why there's a lot to cover today is because there's a lot of preparation, a lot of foundation setting today. From next week onwards, we will take a much deeper time with each of the laws. So bear with me for that. But we will cover everything that we need to cover today, promise. We will also do a little breakout on the first law of abundance so that we can each deepen into the law. come back, have a little bit of a sharing session, and then we'll jump into the virtual workbook. That is the workbook that will help us through these 49 days. It is a resource that will be our companion, that will take us through the 49 days. And then we will close up with a bunch of invitations, if you want to call it homework. You're welcome to, back to the good old school days. And with that, we will do a little bit of closing. Good. Lovely. Michael, if we can just jump right in to the abundance wheel, that would be extremely valuable. Lovely. Thank you. You know, where I come from in India, in my mystical tradition, we recognize 10 areas of life in our manifested human form. We seek abundance. Some of us, we consciously seek abundance in each of these 10 areas. Some of us, by virtue of our life, our conditioning, our subconscious, there are certain areas where we pursue abundance. And these are the 10 areas. You can read them yourself, but I'll very briefly take you through them. Money and materials. As you know, many people around us.
The first one is
they
people.
Pursue money and materials. Great. And corresponding to the same layer of consciousness is also health and vitality. For me, vitality is a big
including
thing. It's
yourself,
an important
including
thing. Not as
myself.
Health not as the absence of disease, but as the presence of vitality, like little kids.
So what do we do with that?
Very precious. That's how we are meant to wake up and show up in life. That's how we are designed.
Why don't we do triads then?
The third one that corresponds with the next layer of third and the fourth ones that correspond with the next layer of consciousness. One is family and love. Of course, we want that love in our life, whether it's self-love or the love that we want to give to others, or number three, the love that we want to receive towards us, whether from family or friends. And also corresponding with the same layer of consciousness is connection, community, etc., through which we receive acknowledgement, appreciation, the union that we experience with others, community, the belongingness that we yearn for. And then corresponding with the third layer of consciousness to others also. One is got to do with our own self-worth and identity, the way we feel about ourselves, the self-recognition, the self-esteem, the worth that we give ourselves, the celebration of the self that we undertake in life. And then there is something very fascinating for most of us that corresponds with this layer of consciousness is meaning making. We are not mechanical machines here just to keep our soul and body together. No. Yeah. We are here for something grander than just staying alive. And in that, there are 32 areas of life where we pursue a meaning making, 32 areas, whether it is through connection, through love, through adventure, through quest, through union, through a manifestation, through results, through exploring our limits, through learning, wisdom, growth, meaning making, especially the younger generations today, the millennials and Gen Z. They will commit to something only if there is meaning making associated with it. That's a very strong abundance pursuit. And corresponding with the fourth layer of consciousness, the higher purpose, the purpose seek. Not purpose just at the mundane level. The abundance of purpose being one of realizing our God-given potential. Realizing all this, the faculties that we are blessed with, the skills, the talents, and all of them. Realizing the reason for our existence, the higher purpose. That also is an abundance pursuit that corresponds now with the fourth layer of consciousness. And one more that corresponds with the fourth layer is our creative expressions. For some of us, it might just be as simple as walking through nature and marveling at the magnificence, the beauty of nature. Maybe that is what is creative. For some people,
above the
creative
stove.
expression might be pottery, making a painting, drawing, sketching. For many people, at least one of the persons here from the Netherlands who's been very, very dear to me, Frederic, I know for you, creative expression, making music, playing music is very, very dear to you. That creative expression corresponds with our astral self, our intuitive self. It's a very, very important pursuit of abundance. For me, creative expression, first and foremost, is writing. When I can find time, open up to the source and write, I'm blessed. That's abundance. And lastly, corresponding with the fifth layer of consciousness in the advanced consciousness science of my land,
we're going to go into
there are two different abundance pursuits. One is transcendence and bliss, returning to that bliss that we were born as. Where I come from, we refer to it as Ananda of Sat Chit Ananda. How we were first manifested in this form as that source, as that bliss, and returning to it through transcend, through unshackling, unconditioning the self. This could be in states or stages. Occasional states like when we are in deep sleep, or in that moment of deep connection with the self, or in spiritual practice, yoga, meditation, we might experience that transcendence. Or as a stage, as we persist and persist and persist on our spiritual practice, after a while, we notice that we've unshackled ourselves much more.
Why didn't it?
To enter a stage
it's
of bliss.
Showing it's good.
And lastly, that corresponds with the fifth layer of consciousness is self-realization. Being fully realized.
I don't know,
completely unconditioned.
they changed something. It's just fuckery.
Call it the Christ consciousness or the Buddha consciousness or the Shiva consciousness. That's also the seeking of self-realization, the 10th area of life that we pursue abundance in. There you have it. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to very briefly unpack this. Now comes the best part. It'll also give me an opportunity to catch my breath. I'm going to invite all of you now into a 12-minute breakout session. That's sort of, I'm sorry, I'm Indian, but I'm quite Swiss with this. So let's say 12 Swiss minutes, not Indian minutes. That means we will never return today into a little breakout in triads. Go into the breakouts and discuss with each other two questions. One is, now that you've seen this 10 different areas of life where every human pursues abundance consciously or unconsciously. Two questions, two inquiries for those 12 minutes. One is, how would you rank these 10 in your life? And don't get over consumed with it. Even if you sort out the first 3 in the list of 10, you've done a fantastic job. If it's not 3 and it's only 1, that's also a fantastic job. And then number 2. So first one is rank the 10. And the second invitation is score your top 3 on a scale of 1 to 10, for example, or 1 to 5, whatever works for you. Just score, where are you today? Not your aspiration. Of course, all our aspiration on each of these 10 areas is 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 10. I'm sorry, no, 5 out of 5 or, 10 out of 5, 7 out of 5. That's what we aspire for. So forget that part. Where you feel you are today based on your life, give yourself a score. Nobody is going to, judge you on it. So these are the 2 invitations. And I'll put those invitations also in the chat box when I stop talking. So one is rank the 10. If you succeed in ranking the top 3, well done. And number 2 is score the top 3 on a scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to 5 or 1 to 773, whatever scale you like to use. Go for it. Michael, the wizard of technology, can you arrange the breakout while leaving me in this space?
Breakout?
Yeah, I'm just getting the time. Here we go. Here we go.
On your screen, all of you will see invitation to breakout rooms. You can click and enter your breakout room.
There's a number of people. Not many.
And Michael, what would be great, I think if I'm not mistaken, there is a feature. I don't remember. Is it the button B or H or something, where if you press, you can actually pass on instructions to the groups, to the breakout rooms?
I can
Any idea?
Okay.
I can
What is that feature? I think it is
what's
B.
the message?
Yeah, we can broadcast the message if you let
What's
us
the
know
message?
what the message is. If you can put it into the
And
chat.
yes, I have a message for. All right. Everyone has at least one person in the room, I think. Okay. The message is if there is nobody in the room, if you're alone in the room, it's okay. You can just start the process yourself alone.
Got it. Thank you.
There is nobody in a room alone. Just so you know.
Okay.
Oh, no, because drop down now to 31 participants in the breakout.
And is there some way, Michael, where everyone in the breakout rooms can see the slide of the abundance wheel
I don't believe so.
on their screens?
I can bring the abundance wheel up on that screen. I'm not sure whether it's going to be visible to the people. It doesn't go into the breakout room.
Hmm.
8 minutes left.
I'm going to turn on music again, Mark. And I'm going to unmute myself. Or do people going to hear it in the breakout room? Would people hear it in the breakout room?
Not sure.
Okay, then I'm just going to leave it like that.
Restream says offline on turned them on. Didn't come through to Vimeo. I have to say it didn't go through to your YouTube because they're all off. Not showing anything coming into Restream. I'll have to look at that.
But they're all turned on there. Yeah, this thing, when I did a stream with, did you refresh that page?
It's not coming through to the Vimeo. That's one way I can tell.
Weird.
If I go to Hubcast Vimeo, it should show in here stream preview.
Yeah.
Oh, God, did come in.
That's weird.
I'm pretty sure I got it right. But see, it should say something in here. It should say like online. Right?
Yeah.
It's on here, but it's offline. And you often.
Oh.
Okay, we're coming back in a minute and a half. One minute according to. Zoom says 40 seconds. Your timer says
7, 6.
you still have 20 seconds left in the Zoom, so I'll break it. You want me to just close
I'll
them?
bring, yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
You want me to close them?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's saying they got 60 seconds. Come back. And if he's going to take shares, I just need to, I made it so they can't. So. You're not using warm space for this?
No. I'm just going to go through it later on today.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for returning. Thank you for joining that little breakout and sharing your process. Now, what would be great is you have the chat box. You have the chat box. My invitation is, if you would like to, for inspiration for me, in the chat box, just write down, what is your top 1 or 2 areas of life where you're ready to welcome more abundance. Go for it. You can just write down those areas, or if you want to write down a score, you may, or if you want to add anything to your area, you may. Go for it, illuminate me. All right, Adam says money, material, family, love. Beautiful. Frederick, money, material, health, well-being. Auntie, abundance in purpose and self-worth. Beautiful. Wow. Gary. Oh, I'll repeat the question if you like, Gary. It is, if you want to write down one or two areas of life where you're ready to claim more abundance, go for it. Marcus, health, vitality, connection, community. Enrico, meaning making. Navid, where was it? Oh, I lost the screen. Creative expression and self-awareness. Raven, self-worth, identity, family, health and well-being. Enrico, self-worth and identity. Catalina, money, materials, creative expression, connection, and community. And Jerica has got much more nuanced, interconnected share. See, purpose-driven. Beautiful. Abundance in purpose. Karthik, family, health, purpose, money and materials, health and well-being. Cheryl, creative expression, transcendence, bliss, money. Patricia, my dear sister from Belgium, self-worth, health. Abhishek, self-worth, identity, money, materials, purpose. Raven, creative expression. Marnix, self-worth, creative expression. Thomas, growth, learning, relationship, transcendence, bliss. Davide, self-awareness. And Patrick, wonderful, wow. Unlimited goodness and abundance, wow. For all beings, love it. Beautiful. What an amazing spread here. Somehow I'm not surprised when I read all of this out. There is such a great spread of all the 10 areas. And I think it is, who was it? Jerica saying that interconnected whole. I want to celebrate that remark, interconnected whole. Yes, I do know, because we are all beings of expanded consciousness. I know each one of you are. The movement in abundance creation you will create in your life will be the movement in abundance for others. That interconnectedness is also one of interconnectedness to the universe, that field of infinite abundance and for all. So thank you for sharing what you shared in this space. And I want to once again applaud the spread of all the choices that you made. You have actually touched upon each one of those 10 areas. Lovely. Why is this important? This little exercise. Even beyond today or these 49 days, it's extremely important for you to remember that consciously or unconsciously, every person that you know in your life is in pursuit of one or more of these 10 areas. And knowing this for yourself and for the others around you empowers you to become more self-aware, to make choices, to have compassion, empathy, and understanding for why others
Yeah.
choose or
Yeah.
decide in the way they do.
Sorry?
How was that being done?
Through
I
email.
can share this very briefly. Very recently, I had an experience of somebody
You
close to me.
share where
She
It's going to come through the email.
rather
you should put it.
coldly, cruelly
Not right now.
chose
Is it
for
It's on.
preserving her
You can put
lifestyle
it on the web page.
over love, connection, self-realization, spiritual expansion, all of that. And through the lens of the abundance wheel, I could see her reality. The reason why she hurt others in her life was because unconsciously she was experiencing a lack, a scarcity of self-worth, of love, of the lifestyle that she had nurtured, safeguarded for many
Okay.
years,
you don't have it donated?
etc. And
Not
in her aggressive move towards preserving that, she created hurt in other people's lives.
Strong one is that.
But looking at her journey through the lens of the abundance wheel, helped me
going
understand,
to talk into
feel
that.
compassion for that person's choices, that coldness, or,
So
my own judgment
next week,
of labeling those choices in my unconscious moment as cruelty. But then, through the lens of the abundance wheel, feeling compassion. I understand her. This is very, very valuable, that wheel, as a compass for life. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you for joining this, because this intention, and I'm going to continue to come back in these 49 days over and over again in every live session, anchor our abundance journey back to the abundance wheel, because it's very convenient to just say, you know what, I'm ready to embrace abundance in all these 10 areas of life. But that's very dangerous, because we are going to divide our awareness across 10 areas otherwise, versus just fully, unconditionally, at a cellular level, bring our energy and our focus, our intention and our awareness to just one area. Then manifestation is exponential. In the 4th session, I'll come back to this again. For now, dear brother Michael, if you can pull up the first law, let's do a quick dive into that. And then we'll have another breakout. And this time again, 12 minutes, Swiss minutes, let's say 2 Indian minutes, which is the equivalent of 12 Swiss minutes. We'll have a little breakout. But before that, I want to take a minute and 1 Indian minute to unpack the first law of exchange, the first law of abundance, the law of exchange. The universe operates in giving and receiving, the Mobius. If you give, so shall you receive. If you receive, must you give. If we do not honor the law of exchange, our universe collapses. And this is not some abstract, lofty idea, by the way. Look at it. We all understand this really easily well. Now, those of us who are in relationships, remember this. If one day you stop giving to that person in your relationship, and you stop, and you stop, and you stop, after a while, you notice that person isn't there anymore in your life. That universe called that relationship, that union, that family collapses, disappears. And this is a very mundane example. In the universal scheme of things, all manifestation, this is applicable. If we stop giving, then soon the universe will disappear. That universe will disappear. And the same thing applies to receiving. Because each one of us, definitely each one of us who are on this 49-day journey, you're all great givers. And I do know many of you, and I know that, you give not because you're attached to the reward. We'll come to the third law of abundance, the law of detachment in the third week. But for now, I do know you, that you give not because you're attached to the reward. You give because you celebrate, you dance in the joy of giving. That is why you give. I know that about those of you who I know. Now, imagine you're such a profuse giver. You give with the entirety of your heart. You're that kind of a person. I know you are like that. Yet, imagine if you are trying to give to somebody who is blocked in receiving. What a bummer that is.
What a bummer.
That just doesn't serve us well, because we have this infinity of the abundance of heart from which we want to give to somebody. But that person, she or he, because of all the old wounds and the traumas and the rejections and the old pain and all of that, he or she is unable, incapable of receiving. That's not nice. After a while, you stop giving. And you orient the attention, the locus of your awareness to somebody else who is open to receive. No giving, no receiving, no universe. That is the first law of exchange. And in closing, maybe I'll share some more thoughts on this. But from quantum science perspective, the same law from a quantum science perspective, those of you who are so deeply into quantum physics or quantum science, etc., you will recognize the oneness of all there is, the isness of all there is. That is essentially recognizing beyond the illusion of our separateness. We are all just one. We are just that one consciousness manifested in different forms. To the extent that if we can, just by closing our eyes and meditating, if we can transcend the limitations of this human form, then suddenly we are one. We have the same thoughts, we have the same emotions, we have the same motives, we have the same experiences. In quantum science, we recognize you are the giver and the receiver. There's no other. So you can be left wondering, hey, if I'm giving to another, is there the other? Is the other different from who I am? Is there really that separateness? Aren't I just giving to myself? Yes. When we recognize that we are all expressions of the one, we recognize we are actually giving to ourselves by giving to the other. And when we receive, we are receiving on behalf of the other. There's no other. We are the giver and the receiver. That is very, very brief, the quantum science bit of the first law of exchange. Now, for now, again, I love to invite all of us into a breakout. Go for it once again, fully random, Michael. If you can set all of us up, except me, in a breakout, again for 12 minutes. And the invitation here is deepen into this. Ask yourself, as you deepen into in the breakout room, check with each other. To what extent am I practicing giving and receiving? Just explore that a little bit. And what is my understanding of the law of exchange? So those two things. What is my understanding of the law of exchange, and to what extent am I fully practicing giving and receiving? I'll put these questions in the chat box while Michael, if you could kindly set all of us up in the breakout rooms.
Okay, let me know when you're ready, Michael.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Rooms are open.
Good job, Mark.
Thanks, man. Likewise. We got to figure out that restream thing. That's how we do it, man. Teamwork. No, I appreciate you. Anna's been supposed to be giving me her Mac so I can start working with Ecam.
Ecam?
But she's like a moving target that talks a lot and never, okay, let's get together, let's talk about this, okay. Then it's like
Might be a good time to quickly go to the washroom.
yeah, you've got 9 minutes 40 seconds. cigarette before we go online. 7 minutes.
Can you put that link AWAKEN.Global /abundance/home into the chat room later on when I do screen share?
Awaken.Global
/abundance/home.
/home.
Yeah.
It comes up as abundance. Oops.
AWAKEN.Global /abundance/home.
Hope. Home.
Home.
H-O.
Home.
Yeah, so that comes up. Oh, that's better.
No.
Okay. Got it. 5 minutes. Oh, look at that. We're pretty much on time. Look at that. I'm synced up with yours this time. The internet connection just got stronger than me. You should always change your name because right now it shows technical team. Yeah. close all rooms because it gives them a 60-second countdown.
Oh.
2 minutes. So in 1 minute, I'm closing the rooms.
Oh shit.
What?
The warm space is not in there.
No, give us a 60-second.
Oh, fuck.
I'm coming back in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here they come.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining that little exercise. And if any profound illuminations or insights have come upon you in that breakout session, go ahead, share that in the chat box. You're welcome to inspire each other by sharing anything that has come up for you. And while you do that, also respecting the time, I'd like to pull my dear brother Michael here onto the screen. And Michael is going to set us up for the coming days, the next 6 days of work. The workbook and the warm space and all of that. There you see. Yeah. Finally on the screen, we have, the beauty and the beast.
Thank you,
I
thank
mean,
you,
you,
thank
Michael,
you.
the beauty.
Deeply, deeply honored to be here, and wow, how you've changed my life is remarkable. And I just, before I dive into the workbook, and there's a couple of things that I wanted to mention, and one of them is about the Hopi prophecy. And within the Hopi prophecy, it says, "The time of the lone wolf is over. Gather yourself. Banish the word struggle from your attitude and your vocabulary. All that we do now must be done in a sacred manner and in celebration. We are the ones we've been waiting for." And so what I really wanted to talk into is to banish the word struggle from our vocabulary and from our attitude. And I've had the privilege to dive into your material, Sujit, for the last few months by putting this together, and the way you've changed my life and the way you've brought abundance into my life is almost overwhelming. There's something that a friend of mine has said to me a while ago, and that is, if you study something in a very deep and sacred way, the reality of that which you study merges with your reality. So my prayer for all of us is that may our reality merge with your reality, Sujit, because you're the one who understands it. And there is also a saying from Samuel Taylor Coleridge that says, to believe and to understand are not diverse things, but the same things in different periods of growth. And so I perhaps would like to encourage all of us to take a moment and really dive into the significance of this moment where we're all being together on this journey to create abundance in our lives, and like Sujit said before, the responsibility to do so. And so when we put this web page together and this course together, within me there was something that said there needed to be a sacred space created. And so any of the existing course pages, platforms, modalities didn't really, I couldn't feel it. I just couldn't feel it. And so I thought, well, let us create something from scratch and let's really make it sacred. And I hope that this message is going to come across in the pages and the modalities that I'm going to be sharing with you. And like with anything else, you can be prepared as much as you want. Sometimes, yes, there's there is still little glitches in it. And so let me just share my screen here for a second, and let me go through the pages. And I'm working on 2 computers, so bear with me for a second. And then I'm going to so I hope you can all see it. So this here is the landing page. Oh yeah, so this is the landing page for today's day 1 masterclass. And so the way you can get there is through
And what is the URL for that?
it's AWAKEN.Global /abundance/home. And Mark has put that into the chat. So this is your home page, and it's a personal page, so you will see your name next to it. The reason why you don't see it on here is because I'm working on a second computer that hasn't registered for the course. This is an overview of the 7 weeks, and then this is a link to your course information. We also created a WhatsApp group where you can join us if you have any feedback, where you can share this journey together. And part of this Hopi prophecy also says, see who's there with you and celebrate. So this is really about building a community of individuals that want to bring abundance into their lives. And as Sujit said earlier on, there is no other. I am simply a reflection of you. You're a reflection of mine, and we're all part of one. So from here you can jump into your pre-course material, and you can jump into the week 1 class. So if I click on this, then I'm going to be in my day 1 masterclass. So this is where we are right now. Join us in the Zoom room. And then here are the instructions for the day. And this is, again, is a link to your personal course page. Now, there's a couple of different options. You can download and view the material, or you can submit the material electronically and it will be stored in your back end on your personal page, which means anytime in the future, in a month, in 2 months, in 6 months, you can go back and you can view your exercises and your responses and your answers to some of the questions and relive and revisit this course. This is not a 49-day journey. While it is a 49-day journey, to me, this is a lifetime of creating abundance. So from my personal experience and expectation perhaps around the course would be, how beautiful would it be for me to go back in 3 months or in 6 months or in a year to actually see what was my response at the time and how has that evolved now into something more significant and into something more beautiful. So all this course material, you can either, like I said, you can print it out, there's a link to download it, or you can specifically around the practice and the reflections and the questions. So I would recommend only printing out the white pages without wasting too much printer ink, or you can submit them here at the bottom electronically. Once you do that and you press the submit button at the very bottom, you will get an email with your answers emailed to you immediately, and then also with a link to next day's pages, which means you're going to have a record of your submissions in your email and for future review and to store it. Now we're not this is your private information. It won't be shared with anybody. We're not going to sell your information. We're not going to do anything with your information. This is your private responses, your personal webpage, and for you to review anytime you wish to do so. Now within the first
Michael,
yes.
can I just ask, so, the next 6 days until the next Saturday session together, each day there is an exercise for the participants, which takes about 15 minutes of good reflection to activate more and more the abundance consciousness within us. Now, I'm curious, Michael, by any chance, is there an email notification or a reminder or something like that that goes out every day to the participants with the invitation to that day's exercise?
There will be, once you press submit at the bottom of the page, you will get a summary of what you have submitted, and you will get a link to next day's workbook and pages. So what we're going to do is, over the coming 49 days, the invitation really is to walk through this together, to take our hands and really and go through this journey, holding hands, going day by day, and which means that the information is going to become available as we go along. So the links are going to be made available because of all the different time zones, from India to Europe to Pacific time to Eastern time. We're going to make them available at 9 o'clock in the evening Pacific time for the next day. And on your personal page, you will have access to all the links. You can download the workbook. You can jump to your course pages for that related day. Now, one of the things that like I said at the beginning, you can prepare as much as you want. There's always something that is a little bit missing. When you go into your second day course page, there's going to be a link inviting you to Warm Space. Warm Space is a technology of a dear friend of mine, and it is about really celebrating each other for being on that journey together. And so what we encourage people to do at 12 o'clock Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock European time, and then I think I forgot what time it is in India, to really come together and share appreciation for each other for being on that journey together. And so the link is going to be in your day two workbook and in your day two page. I can't show you the link right now because and what it is, it's a equivalent to a virtual Zoom room that will guide you through certain exercises, and it takes about 6 to 8 minutes, where you join together in triads and share appreciation for one another and share the highlights of what you are experiencing, and then allow other people to reflect back on you, so that we can all join in this journey together, learn from one another, and move towards abundance consciousness.
You know, Michael, I want to just add one thought on warm space. You know, I feel it is very limiting when you say warm space is something like the Zoom room.
Yeah.
You know, it is genuinely warm. It is, you know, there's a very different energy to the process in warm space. You know, one where, you know, it's technology doing good in the sense of, you know, giving each one of us an opportunity to share our reflections and be part of genuinely be part of a small group. So, you know, it's a beautiful space to join with others, to share, establish connection, practice authenticity, exchange love and gratitude, etc. It's a beautiful little platform.
Thank you for expanding that, and for really giving it justice for what it is.
Beautiful.
And within that space is also an opportunity for us to share equally. So when you go into it, you're going to have a timer that is only visible to you, and you've been given a certain amount of time to share, and then it will prompt you, or it will prompt to for somebody else within the room to reflect back on you. And so within that space is also an equal space for all of us to
Yes.
share equally.
Yes.
And the 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 effect that it has on sharing gratitude with other people and to get to know other people is profound. And so I'd highly encourage you to come on at 12 o'clock every day and celebrate each other. This is a really
It's a
pivotal moment in our human history, and we need to come together as one human family, and that is one way of expressing it and one way of celebrating it.
Amen. Amen to that. Um, um, uh, Also, in the interest of time, respecting the time, Michael, you know, if we can just move on to the closing, there are a few things to briefly check. Michael, you said every day at 12. Can you say which time zone?
Pacific time zone.
12 Pacific time zone, which is then 9 p.m. European, Central European time, 8 p.m. UK time, and it's somewhere the next day, 1:30 a.m. India time then. Lovely. Great. Thank you so much for taking us through this. Michael, I have another question. That is, you know, um, there are going to be in the first couple of days a number of questions that come up. Can they bring up those questions in the WhatsApp group so that you can help them through the technology, the process, etc., so that they become very native to it?
Yeah, that was the reason why we set up the WhatsApp community. So people, there is two sections within it. One is feedback, where you can send questions, concerns, suggestions to us, and we will respond immediately. The other thing is you could reply to the email address that is in the daily emails that get sent out. Fastest way and visible to everybody would be the WhatsApp community. I think that is the most effective and efficient way to do so.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you, Michael, for setting this up. Somewhere in the beginning, I mentioned to all of you that today is a rather intense session because there is so much preparation and foundations to establish today. Promise from next week onwards, the live sessions, you will be on the dance floor, and I will be much less on the dance floor. So come with an open heart, with that spirit, so that we can share. We'll create a sacred space, a safe space for all of us to share. We will create quality time for that too. Um, Now, looking at the time, we have exceeded the time limit that we have. So if there is anybody who needs to excuse yourself to return to family or work or self-time, etc., please don't hesitate to excuse yourself. You will receive the recording of this session. You will have that. And if anybody has got any Q&A, any questions,
Yeah, Pacific time.
I'm here
We
for the next few minutes. So feel welcome to raise your hand, the digital hand, and then Michael will bring you on, and then you can just ask your question. We can have a little conversation. If I know the answer, if not, the universe will provide one. But for now, what I want to say is thank you. Thank you so much to all of you. I know for myself, whenever I'm holding a space like this, it helps me grow and become a better human being, a more abundant human being. So, for all of you who gave me the opportunity to hold space, I'm filled with gratitude. Once again, to Mark and Michael, heart full of gratitude for enabling this to happen. And if anybody needs to excuse yourself, you're welcome to. If anybody wants to stay back. And if you have a question or any other sharing for the next few minutes, we can do that. So just want to say namaste and love to each one of you. And next week, same time, we'll meet each other.
No raised hands.
we
No raised hands.
Sujit, we don't have any raised hands. If there is anybody else that would like to ask a question in the chat room, please do so, and we can highlight the question in our in the Zoom room here. Otherwise, we're good.
While yeah. Auntie has got a hand raised. You're welcome, Auntie, to unmute yourself, and please, anything that's coming up for you is welcome.
Thanks a lot for the audience. So I noticed in the exercise, looking at the wheel, I'm currently lacking a little bit in the abundance of purpose. I assume you will cover this topic later on in the course, but let's say I want to get ahead and start to plant those seeds of what is it that I want to bring to this planet as coming someone who works in a corporate office job for the time being, which is maybe not the purpose, maybe, who knows. But any early bits of advice for a fellow traveler? Thank you.
Auntie, indeed, you're already in week 6 with that quest. In the 6th law of abundance, we will examine what you just asked in complete details. We will do that. Um, the one thing in what you share that is striking me at this moment is the following. I'm somebody who has come to recognize that there are no accidents. That if I am today, bear with me for the judgment, stuck in this relationship, or in this home, or in this country, or in this job, that stuck is my judgment. What I recognize in my spiritual tradition, what we recognize, Auntie, is that it is a place where we are meant to be exactly at this moment, in order for us to embrace the lesson of that specific moment that will accelerate us, propel us in the direction of that higher purpose tomorrow. And the funny thing about today and tomorrow is, from a quantum perspective, it's all very subjective. That means my condition of today, Auntie, can exist for years, if not decades, unless I make a conscious choice to embrace the lesson of this event. So if I am in a relationship that is not helping me fully realize love, and I'm not actively stepping forward to seek the lesson of that experience, then guess what? Tomorrow, the same event continues. Day after, it continues. And the day after, it continues. And for some of us, and I know many people in my life, Auntie, the perpetuation of this current event is for lifetimes. I meet people years later, and I notice they've not learned the lesson of that event years ago. So that same event is perpetuating in their lives because they've not embraced the lesson yet. The day I embrace the lesson of that moment, of that relationship, or that job, or that home, or whatever, or illness, it will not leave me. I will not be able to free myself from it. But the moment I've embraced the lesson, poof, tomorrow is a completely different reality. So we'll go much, much deeper into this on our 6th session. But
Thank
for
you so
now,
much.
I'm just wondering, in what you shared, if there is anything worth reflecting for you.
Yeah, that was really powerful, and the times I feel most empowered about the situation I'm in, not no longer stuck in, but simply in, is when I see it as a stepping stone. So now
Non
is
l'ho
my time
preso io.
to face the lesson as well.
No,
Thank you so much,
non
Suji.
gioco con te. No.
Wow,
Oh.
beautiful. Thank you so much, Auntie, for sharing that inspiration. Patrick, you have a hand up.
Thank you, Sujit. Sujit, I want to share my appreciation and deep gratitude for this infinite abundance of light that I experience in your presence each time. I want to thank also Michael and Mark and all of the others behind the scenes for the magical beauty of what has already emerged. I do. And inspired I am also by the beauty of the participants and their love and giving and receiving abundance. So thank you so much. And I send you my love. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
if I may interfere here from the background, Patrick is the soul behind Warm Space, and so Patrick, maybe you can speak a little bit into Warm Space, and the highest admiration for what you've created, and there is 2 beautiful brothers here right now on screen, and I love you so much, and maybe you can talk into that a little bit, because we didn't have a chance to really do that because the link is missing in right now in that Zoom room.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, I'm blushing now to be on stage next to Sujit's wisdom. Of, I feel very humbled by that, and I appreciate you, Michael. Sujit said it really well already, so it was very beautifully spoken. Sujit, I appreciate that. Adam wrote something in the chat, so he wrote it down in the chat, so that was also very nice.
Ma adesso dovremmo, non vorrei che abbia avuto previsto.
Yes,
Yes.
and my friend is in my ear. It sounded like in India. I'm not sure, but yeah. So truly, our 18-year journey, and this beautiful platform that you'll be encountering soon, all of you, truly only serves the purpose of allowing us to encounter one another in our true essence, our true beauty, the angel and bodhisattva in each of us, you know, and to find a way to build protocols and the technology and the process in a manner that does allow us to do what I said and what Sujit has mentioned. It's a long journey, yes, and this platform, I do believe, will help us all along this journey towards abundance. And it's built for all those that are in the dark and are not asked and are not given the opportunity or the luxury of breathing, even intentionally with others in love and compassion, with empathy for each other, you know. So it's a small thing, but it has a very big effect. And you all are pioneers together with Sujit and Michael and everyone else, and carrying that spirit in warm space, in a manner that unfolds the dreams and wisdoms of Sujit in a, I would say, very beautiful manner. So I'm humbled. I'm very grateful. Those are some words. I know rarely ever talk about the platform, so I feel a little bit, yeah. So, but it's always best just to go in. It's like the esoteric rule. Don't believe what I say. Experience it yourselves. Feel the upliftedness of the grace of others to one another, and you'll be fine. You'll go like, wow, this is kind of cool. So thank you. Back over to Michael and Sujit, of course.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Aho.
Thank you, Aho. Thank you, Patrick, for
Aho.
sharing that. You know, Naveed, dear brother from UK, you know, you had a fascinating reflection that you shared in the chat about how to share these lessons with our loved ones. I can speak about what I've noticed in the past years, you know, of which this may sound a little idealistic. I have to say the most powerful way in which we can share our lessons, our own profound illuminations from the abundance journey, is by being abundance. There is something very profoundly contagious about being abundance. That when I am showing up from a place of abundance, wholeness, plentifulness, it rubs off the others. This is quantum physics, the battle of frequencies, the stronger frequency versus the weaker frequency. But I know you, Naveed. I've known you through our practice together. And I know you have that great strength. That is the most profound way in which. Now, there's something else. You remember, everybody who's part of this program, you receive a copy of the 7 Laws of Abundance, that book, which is something like 2.5 million copies have been absorbed in 8 languages or so worldwide. And it's continued. You know, what I've gone ahead and done, Naveed, is I've terminated all agreements with publishers, because it comes down to the fundamental of why I write. I write mostly as my own spiritual practice. Secondly, I write in order to touch other people's personal process. And when I give that book, the rights of the book to a publisher, it is with the publisher, and the publisher ends up kind of selling 1,000 copies, 3,000 copies maybe.
Computer is not.
And when 3,000 copies are sold, they pop the champagne. Whereas in the same time, I experience 100,000 downloads from within my network, within my community. So there is no reason for me to sell my work. It's not my work, by the way, I have to say. I only channel all my books. 2025, I'm going to actually put out 10 books. For the last 20 years, I've been just writing, and I don't need to be with a publisher. It's there. I know, Naveed, your copy of the 7 laws. Do not feel restricted. You know what? What if I would forward my copy to somebody else? Will Sujith lose as a result? No. Everybody just gains. In many years, Christmas time, the most popular book that is being given out as a Christmas gift or birthday gifts, whatever, is The 7 Laws of Abundance. People just buy, package it, and give it to others. Or now there's also a digital gifting platform where you can actually go on a platform. You can avail a copy. If you want to make a donation, you can. And you say who should receive it. The person will receive it in her mailbox or his mailbox. That book is also a very powerful prompt to get somebody on an abundance journey. And then you have this platform in front of you that Michael and so many people have worked together relentlessly for you. It's not only for you, Naveed. It is for everyone. Anybody who wants to kind of join you on that platform or even join me here with us, they're welcome to. So that's my last remark for now to your inquiry, Naveed. If there are people around you who you would like to pull into this journey, go ahead, just welcome them. Doesn't matter whether they miss the first couple of days, whatever. If they come on day 25 or day 31, whatever, they still might benefit. They still might get something out of the process. So welcome them. Aho. Thank you for your inquiry. Marnix, I see your hand is up. If you want to unmute yourself, you're welcome to. Hello, brother.
Hi, Sujit again. Nice to meet you. I'm very happy you're a part of my quantum physics. I think we keep on meeting.
Oh.
So it's very nice. I just want to say, like, since a few years, I'm just rolling into Advaita and the oneness that comes with it, and it's teaching the oneness, and it always comes back to me, even in this course. It comes back, and by all sort of things, that this idea of oneness is keep coming back to me in every book I read. It's very strange, but it's very nice because I'm pulled that way, I feel, and it's a nice way, and it's not even about belief, it's about knowing. There is nothing else in this oneness. Yeah, that's all.
Amen to that. Yes. You are a realized soul, Marnix, that you realize that there is nothing but oneness beyond this illusion of separateness that our ego creates. It is really oneness. Look at children around me. I look at them. I have 2 kids, little kids. They are my teachers. I look at them. And they remind me every day that we are one. We are oneness. And they remind me not to get deceived by the separateness of our body. No, really. They remind me that we are oneness all the time. So I totally understand. I recognize what you're sharing.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Beautiful. Let me see. Anybody else, any other remarks, or are we ready to close for today? Beautiful. All of you wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people from 30 plus countries, hundreds of people. Many I know, many new to me. I'm blessed. So once again, I want to say thank you for blessing me with your presence. Continue with each day's practice. It will take about 15 days and 15 minutes each day. You will receive the prompts on your page, on your personal page. And I'll see you personally next week, same time, same space. Big hugs and lots of love. Ciao, ciao.